Hey guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back if you're returning. I am Beauty Heathen and welcome to this space where I will likely be recording from, at least for the foreseeable future, with regards to my long form content. I'm sorry, the last time we spoke I had indicated I was planning on taking you guys on the road with me to do mobile delivery, and needless to say, that didn't work out how I had planned. My body in general did not cooperate, and I was unable to do food delivery because of it. I ended up going through several relapses with my spine over the past few months. Thankfully, physical therapy has me doing much better now than where I was, knock on wood. And as a result, I've managed to avoid a second surgery so far. But that's not to say that life has been easy or that things have been gentle, and they have not. And I know that I have been speaking on my channel for some time, and I'm sorry if you hear any background noise. I'm in a very congested area. I am trying to use the microphone to try to help diminish background noise if possible. But as I was saying, I know I've been speaking on my channel for quite some time about getting myself out of the unpleasant situation I am in. Please know that this is not an easy process. It is not one that doesn't come with a lot of struggle, and I know a lot of people may not quite understand how hard something like this can be, that others have had it easier to just up and walk away from situations, walk away from family, and all that kind of stuff. But my situation is more complicated than I think people realize. For one, yes, I am an empath. I am also in the situation where I was taking care of my grandmother. Yes, she has since passed away years ago, but to try to explain and give some context to aspects of people who are in situations like mine. Being raised by a parent who is like mine is kind of like being raised by a family version of a cult leader. And I've had not only substantial research I've done on my own, but a number of resources confirm that to me. Professional resources confirm that to me, that people who are narcissistic and aren't taking the steps to mitigate their behavior and take pleasure in causing harm, in bending people to their will, and manipulating people to become their flying monkeys. Pretty much are indoctrinators. And when you've been born into a situation like mine, it can be that much harder to see it for what it is, recognize it for what it is, because to you it's normal. To you, it's what you've always lived with. And it took a very long time for me to be informed that my situation isn't normal. I was already a grown adult when that happened and bordering on the plan to unalive myself. Every time I think I've recognized and picked up on all of my birth giver's manipulation tactics, she comes up with ones that she's never utilized before or that I hadn't recognized were manipulative. Every day I'm finding new resources. Every day I'm finding new information to help me recognize things for what they are, the patterns of behavior for what they are, and help me continue to emotionally detach from her. And I'll be honest, there will be times when I'm going to slip up and call her my mother and things of that nature. I'm still working on, reframing in my own mind ways to distance myself mentally, emotionally. But a big part of my issue has been financial abuse. A big part of my struggles have been the way that things have been framed for me all of my life. So I have extensive deprogramming and deconstructing to do, on top of decolonization work I've already been working on and things of that nature. Like this goes deep, deep, deep. And in the meantime, I need to be able to keep up with my expenses. I have to find a way to save up money so I can get out, do all of these things, and go through the process of reducing what I own so that getting out is that much easier. I can't go into every detail of everything that I'm doing. And please know that I recognize and I'm grateful for the comments from people, encouraging me to just go to a shelter, encouraging me to just up and leave. But there are issues that I need to deal with first. One of which, I have 2 pets, and I know someone had commented that there are resources that people can watch your pets until you get into a stable living environment. Problem is, one of those pets has a microchip, and I do not have possession of the account for that microchip. So if I were to up and leave, or if I were to rely upon those resources to take care of my pets until I'm in a more settled environment, she would find them or she would find me. So I have to figure out a way to gain access to the account take over the account and lock her out of the account before I can do that. Otherwise, I run the risk of going to our veterinarian and asking them to remove that chip and implanting a new one. And then that can open a whole can of worms, because you never know who you can trust and who you can actually talk to that isn't going to go blabbing, especially because they've known us a very long time, about things that are going on and what we're doing and everything. What I'm working on, anyway. 2, there is the financial aspect. Right now, my income from my severance pay is helping to take care of my expenses. But by the end of July, I won't have that severance pay anymore. And I need to have another source of income in order to not only keep up with my monthly expenses, but also afford me the ability to save up to get out. So no matter what, this is something that is going to take time. And let me put it to you this way, even if I won the lottery tomorrow, not that I've bought a ticket, it would still take me time because I still have to declutter and I still have to find a way to get out safely, because as anyone in my position knows, it's always when you're going to leave that you're in the most danger. I'm not letting that keep me here. But I have to figure out timing on when I can get out without it being noticed. Right now, most mornings she takes the dog for a walk. So it's not even like I could leave during that window of time when she was gone. 1, I don't have my stuff out yet or ready to go out yet. And 2, if she takes the dog with her, I can't take the dog with me. 2, I don't always have like a heads up on times when she won't be in the house. So doing something like planning for a moving truck or something of that nature is nearly impossible with her. Usually those things have to be scheduled, they have to be planned, they have to be put together, and a time and date have to be arranged. People can't just be ready to go at a moment's notice. That's not the way it works. In my reduction of items, um, I'm gonna donate some things. I'm gonna throw some things away. But if I find things that are still good that maybe people might want or need, I want to try to offer them, maybe sell them for like $5 or something of that nature to help it go towards my getting the hell out of here fund. And, $5 and pay for shipping, and I'll send it to you, something of that nature. But I don't quite know where to post those types of things. I know I have an Etsy store, but I'm not quite sure you are allowed to sell personal items there or things you haven't made there. I know there's always eBay. I don't know all of the sites and apps and everything out there, so if you have recommendations, please feel free to drop them in the comments down below so I can try to figure out which one works best. And as I find things and I put things together for sale or rehoming, um, I can list things and we can figure things out from there. What else? Some things I have to be able to pack up and send ahead of me to where I'm going because I'm not staying in the United States. I am leaving. I have nowhere to go where I am right now. I have no family in the area. I have no friends in the area. I have no resources in the area where it's like when things are bad, I can just up and leave. Short of me living out of my car because I can't even get like a hotel room for the night right now, let alone pay rent. And then dealing with legal issues because I'm living out of my car. I really am like between a rock and a hard place, even if the microchip wasn't an issue, which it is. I also have the issue of a loan having been taken out in my name when I was young. And like I said, financial abuse is part of my situation. I haven't been granted access to the account to start paying that down. So my credit is really bad, and no payments have been being made on that since that loan was taken out. And I can tell you I was a minor when that happened. And technically, legally, she had the ability to do it because it was on my whole life insurance policy that she opened when I was an infant. But at the same time, it's my name on the account. So I'm ultimately responsible for it. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's something else I have to gain access to and have to figure out a way to get the account signed over in my name and dealt with that way too. There's just a lot going on, and it's very overwhelming. And a lot of days I feel like I have to buy my freedom, but I don't know how to go about it when I'm struggling each day. Mentally, emotionally, financially, and otherwise. There's this goes really deep, and there's a lot that I've dealt with my entire life, but especially aspects of my life that I don't necessarily feel comfortable talking about right now. Maybe one day I will get there. But there are aspects of daily life that are weaponized against me and restricted from me that most people wouldn't even think um, would be, which is one big reason why you will repeatedly see me in the same clothes. So keep that in mind too. And please don't give me a lot of crap. One, I'm not a wasteful person anyway. A lot of the clothes that I've had for a very long time. I take care of my things. Um, But I've also lost a lot of weight, so many things are now too big for me, so I'm probably going to have to get them tailored, which again costs money. For me learning how to sew and then buying my own sewing machine, I don't see how else to go about that. But then if I were to do that, I would get blasted because she has multiple sewing machines, none of which does she use, and aren't my possessions. But if I were to get one for myself, I would get yelled at. It's just a lot that is challenging and a lot that is hard. And I'm just doing the best that I can each day. I do have a support system, but they're not local. And things are in the works to help me get out. But again, like with everything else, they take time to put together. I have the plan of how to get out of the country. I know the things I need to do to make that happen, but there are aspects that I need to get in line, and I haven't been able to do all of that yet. Getting out of the country in a permanent manner is not as easy as a lot of people think it is. I am hoping that the field I'm about to be going into might connect me with resources I don't presently have to allow me to maybe work on that a little bit better with support that I don't presently have. But I have to first get actually out into the field doing the actual work, and I'm still technically in training at the moment. So, with all of that said, I do have a few ideas for content that I'm thinking of making. One, I don't know if it's at all anything of interest for you guys to kind of watch my process of decluttering and, reducing my stuff. I don't know if that's anything anybody would want to watch at all. Also, obviously those videos I would time lapse, I would speed up. I would not make you sit and watch an 8-hour video of me cleaning things or going through things one at a time. I also have a couple of ideas that I was thinking of. One of the things I am working on is getting back into music. That is something I need to do for myself. I haven't allowed myself a creative outlet. Well, I can't even say I haven't allowed myself. There's a lot of trauma affiliated with when I was in music professionally. I've been working since I was 8 years old, if that gives you any kind of guidance on that. I'm much older than that now. But I had to walk away from it when I was a very young adult because I was having a mental breakdown. And had I kept pushing through that and kept going in the industry like I was, it would not have been good for me. So walking away was something that I needed to do at the time, but now I want to start getting back into it. I am a very creative person. I write poetry. I'm working on developing the skills for songwriting because that's something that is of interest to me. Ironically, the field I'm going into is, training me on using mics and doing recording and doing all of that kind of stuff, but it's not music yet. But thankfully, a lot of the tech and everything that I've had to purchase for that field, because I'm an independent contractor, can simultaneously be used for music. Just kind of like funny enough worked out that way. But asking you your input, I know I have my channel Rekindled Resonance, which I'm not sure, should I talk about my experiences in music just on that channel, or should I keep like the vlog style content to this channel and just focus the music over there? Please, by all means, let me know in the comments below. Again, like with this video, I have to be careful when I record. When I practice, I play a very large instrument. I play the harp. It's not something I can just haul up the stairs into this room to practice and do all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of stuck in the location where it is right now, which means that the only real time that I can practice is in the very early hours of the morning before someone wakes up and comes down. So recording, practicing, all of that kind of stuff is a bit of a challenge. Plus, I'm literally working on strengthening the side of the body that the harp has to rest on, because that is the side of the body that got so exponentially weak with the herniated disc. So that is another factor at play. My body is still healing. I'm almost a full year post-op, but there have been, like I said, moments where I've backslid. So it hasn't been a consistent uphill progress. So, healing, especially with as severe as I was, takes time. And I have to remind myself on a regular basis to be more patient with myself than I am sometimes. Even my physical therapist has to remind me of that at times, because she's like, you're going to push yourself too much and then you're going to re-injure yourself. And I'm like, I know, I'm just eager and anxious to get back to normal. And she's like, I know, but you have to pace yourself. And I know she's right. I just wish I was in a better physical condition than I currently am. I'm getting much better, especially the past few months. I've been improving quite well, and I'm grateful for that. But it has been an uphill battle. So, yeah, I know I also am going to get into the financial aspects of things on the other channel that I have renamed. So yeah, things are in the works. I do thank you guys for sticking around, and I thank you for being so patient. I know it can be challenging when I don't necessarily have a regular routine like I used to. I am going to try to at least post a long form video once a week. And like I said, I've been doing the daily shorts on my channel to try to help me move through the fear of being seen and observed, because historically being seen and observed has not been a good thing for me. Not when I was doing music, not when I was not in my daily living experience. Oh, one more video I was thinking of making, speaking about music, was I don't know if people want a musician's perspective on the situation that happened with Chapel Roan, because I have thoughts, a lot of thoughts. And I know that a lot of people were manipulated in ways that they don't even realize with that entire situation. So feel free to let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd be interested in hearing as well. All right? So I'm going to let you go. I thank you very much for being willing to stick it through the end. I hope you guys take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Okay? Bye.